only took us 3 tries to do our intro. Hopefully the podcast goes better, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
3 tries for our 3rd episode. Welcome back. The Welcome Young Men podcast. Let's introduce ourselves again. Why don't you start over there? Who are you?
I'm Jace Tripp.
I'm Kruse Wyatt Cunningham.
With a mouthful of food.
Brice Carmen.
I'm Alex Cunningham.
I'm Kenny Hefflin.
I'm AJ.
AJ what?
Cunningham.
What's wrong with him?
What's AJ stand for?
Okay. It's been a week, boys. We've my family's been at home very little.
Like 6 hours.
So who should we start with? Kenny, did you have the calmest week of anybody, you think? No? Tell us something about your week.
Forgot I was scheduled to work at 4 yesterday.
What time did you realize you were scheduled to work at 4?
4:30 when Connor called me.
Oh, that's good. So you were an hour late to work?
Actually, I cut it to 15. I was only 45 minutes late. So.
All right, that's pretty good. You got there in a great big hurry.
Well, yeah, I was at the school.
Ran a few red lights.
Illegalness.
Jace, what was your week like?
Mostly volleyball practice.
Did you bump, set, and spike?
Yeah.
Good for
I
you.
usually set, though.
Right into the net.
Yeah, every time.
You're the setter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Brice, then we'll go to you.
Mm-hmm.
You went on a date with your lady friend last night. Where'd you go?
Oh. I went to a play.
You went to a play?
And
Really?
dinner.
How was that?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
This guy, Kruse, sitting right next to me,
Sounds like a
Yeah.
loser.
was the Tin Man in the Wizard of Oz play.
Tin
And
Man.
Hickory. Gotta give him that, too.
Oh, yeah, Hickory Jack.
Well, the question is, did you take your lady friend out to dinner before the play?
Yeah, we met my grandma for dinner at
Where'd you go?
Outback.
Outback
Oh,
Steakhouse.
that's serious. That's serious.
Did you get a bloomin' onion?
We
That's
did.
why I went to home.
They gotta
Now,
get married now.
Was the bloomin' onion crispy?
4 months. What?
Was the bloomin' onion crispy or was it soggy and greasy? There's usually
Good.
It was a good.
Sorry,
bloomin'
my
onion.
mind just went.
It was a good bloomin' onion, so that's good. We'll skip for Kruse for last. AJ, what'd you do this week?
The play.
The play?
It was all I did this week. It was a long week. It feels like a fever dream.
A little bit. I'll give you that.
Blurred.
And what was your role in the play?
Backstage and Toto.
Backstage and the remote control Toto.
Yeah.
Kruse,
Yeah.
what did your week consist of?
A lot of other people crying, a lot of hurt throat, and a lot of tea and acting.
Acting. There was drama. There was drama on and
Did he
off
do
the
that
stage.
with you guys?
But
Oh, yeah.
it was a good show week. There
Yeah,
were
that's-
six shows of The Wizard of Oz put on by Claremont Northeastern
You
Drama.
should watch it on YouTube and see any.
They will not be available at the time that this goes live. This will go live long before The Wizard of Oz
In about a
productions
week or two.
are available.
Or 3.
So I was at the play. I was at Anderson Theater every day, 6 days straight. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'll be glad not to go there tomorrow. So that's my week, and then in the process we're going to go pick up a couple more lambs tonight, and yeah,
I
lot
gotta go
going
to
on.
school tomorrow.
Angie, you want to tell us anything? She's got nothing to say, boys.
What about you?
I just said I was at the play like every day. Wasn't
All right.
listening, was he?
Nope.
All right, Kruse,
Yeah.
we're going to help you focus. We're in Proverbs chapter number 3. Since it's a little bit of a longer chapter, we're not going to hit every verse. So we think we're going to split this one into 2. So let's read through, we'll read 18 verses. So Kruse, you read 3 of them, we'll go around the table. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 1. Don't forget to look at your microphone while you talk. You need to read too, though, I guess. All right, do it, son.
My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For the length of days and long life and peace shall they add. Where did I go? To thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart.
Mr.
You're up.
Carmen.
Around there? Okay.
That's you.
So shalt thou find favor and good understanding to the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It shall be health unto thy navel and marrow to thy bones. Honor the Lord with thy substance and with all the first fruits of all thine increase.
So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. My son, despise not the
Chastening.
Chastening.
Oh, it's broke up weird. Okay. Chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as the Father the Son, in whom he delighteth.
Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things that canst desire are not to be compared unto her.
Length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and is happy everyone that retaineth her.
All right, that's our first 18 verses. So again, a lot of wisdom, a lot of use of wisdom as a she here. So Jace, last week we gave you the first crack at a verse, and you totally struck
Blew
out
that one.
looking. Yeah,
Yeah.
you blew that one bad. Are you prepared this week with a verse?
Yeah.
Jace is prepared. Where are we going to go, Jace?
Verse 6.
Proverbs 3:6. Why don't you read it for us?
In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
Why did you pick that verse, Jace?
Just because if you want the Lord to direct you in your life, you have to surrender 100% to him. You can't give him some of your life and be like, I want to keep this for myself and do my own thing here, but you can have this and this and this. You have to completely surrender to him if you want him to direct you.
I think that's a pretty good take on that. What do you think as you're looking at this and the way you described it? What's a key word in this verse?
All.
All. He picked the word that I had in mind, boys. Kruse, why do you think all is an important word there?
Because all is like everything.
Everything? Yeah. But why is it important?
It's specifying that not just one way, not just two ways, but all of them.
Acknowledge him in
So-
everything you do.
Let's I'll tell a story about a church event that I did a few years ago. This was when we did Bible camp at Quaker Knoll Family Camp
Oh, I remember
up in Wilmington.
With the skunk.
No, not the skunk. I did a GPS scavenger hunt.
What?
So
I remember
I
this.
put stuff out in the fields and in the woods, and I logged those locations, and then they had to use their compass and maps to find points. But some of them was you had to go to this point, and then you had to turn in a particular direction and walk so far. So I didn't actually give them a point. But if what I'm getting at is I told them some coordinates, and they found those. They found that stuff. But one of the groups missed one of the points. And it was the point that you were supposed to start from and go in a specified direction and distance. So they didn't go to that point. They went to the previous one, which was on the other side of the camp. And then they were going to go here. And where they were actually supposed to go was only a few hundred feet from where they started. But because they didn't go to what was supposed to be the starting point, they went in that direction and distance. But because they started in a wrong starting point, they ended up a quarter mile away from where I intended to send them. And in reality, where they ended was a fence next to a Wilmington County Juvenile Detention Center. So long story short, they were all mad at me because they were convinced that I purposely sent them. This is at this
Was
is
it the cotton box?
in the dark. No, it was Liz was one of them. There were a lot. They came back convinced that at midnight I sent them to the fence of a detention center during a scavenger hunt. What's that got to do with this story? It says the Lord shall direct thy paths. It's like an air traffic controller or similar, right? He says go here and then go this direction for this far. What happens if you miss a point?
Well,
You wind up in a completely different
If
spot.
you miss a waypoint, you end up in a totally different spot. So it's necessary that we count on the Lord to direct always. Acknowledge him. If we try to pick and choose and a la carte our life with, I don't need God's involvement here, but I do need God's involvement here. Or this part of my life I got under control. I don't need to seek out godly counsel. I got this. What's going to happen? You're going to end up lost, because if you take some direction but not full direction, when I help people on computers, if they start clicking before I say, okay, click, I have no idea what happened, right? Hold up. Don't click anything. Just wait. I need to know what's going on. It's necessary. The all, Jace, I think is important. All right, who are you picking to read the next verse? No one's making eye contact except a scarecrow.
I'm the
You
tin
get
man.
Tin Man? You gonna give him what
All
he
right,
wants?
Hickory.
All right.
Jeez.
Where are you going, Hickory?
11.
He's going to verse number 11. Let me get down there. All right, do it.
My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction.
Okay. Why?
So, I feel like that one's saying, hey, don't be mad if when you mess up, God does something, and he's doing it for your own good. He doesn't hate you.
I think
Mm-hmm.
should we add verse 12 to this?
Yeah.
Verse 12 is pretty important to go here, right? Kruse, read verse 12.
For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as the Father, the Son, in whom he delighteth. Sorry,
Why do you think we wanted to add that to this?
because they kind of just go together.
So here's a piece of parenting advice. I think that the most sinister thing that a parent can do to a child,
Is not correct them.
not just not correct them, but just, there's some parents that don't talk with their children. Just go to your room. Just live. I think when that says a lot, to have no relationship with your child, to not correct, to not be involved. It says, my son, despise not the chastening. Someone struggled with that word. Was it you? No, Kenny, I think you were on that one. Do you know what chastening is? It's correction, discipline. It's when they get on you. Why is my mom constantly riding my butt? Right? Because she loves you. Neither be weary of correction. Kruse, what's it mean to be weary?
To be disdained from.
Disdain? No.
What's disdain mean?
like
Disdain? No. Weary would be the word
Tired.
that I had for most of the adults that helped with the play this week at the end of the day yesterday.
Just mad at everybody.
No, you're weary. You're just like, oh, I don't know that I got this anymore. I'm ready for a break. I need, and what it says here is, don't be weary of correction. Don't grow tired of it. Realize that it's there for your positive. And then, whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth. We go back to sports. Kenny brought this one up a couple weeks ago. The coaches are usually hardest on their best athletes and the athletes that they can count on, right?
Why waste your breath when somebody won't listen?
In some degrees, yes. As a coach, I try not to do that. I try because I coach youth basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should I take any of those fourth grade girls and write them off and say they're not worth coaching?
No.
No. But am I a little harder? Am I a little harder on some than others?
Yeah.
Yes. I expect more of them, right? So that's what it's saying here with God. Don't get upset when God corrects you. We should look at it and say, Lord, thank you for not leading me to the juvenile detention center in the middle of the dark, right? Be thankful for it. Kruse, where are you going?
Jesus, Julie. Bryson.
Bryson, where are
Did
you
you
going?
just say Jesus, Juvie?
Yeah. That's the title.
Not quite.
7, verse 7.
Verse 7 is where Brice goes.
Be
All
not-
right.
Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil.
All right. Why'd you pick this, Brice?
Just don't trust in what you know, and just rely on God and trust in what He tells you. And
Mm-hmm.
His ways are better than ours. And
What are some adjectives? Someone that's wise in their own
Prideful.
eyes. Prideful.
Oh, a know-it-all.
Arrogant.
Know-it-all. Arrogant. You got anyone?
Smart aleck.
I don't know about smart aleck.
That's just more.
Kenny, you know anybody who's wise in their own eyes?
Mhm.
What's your opinion of that type of person?
When it's when they're little, it's funny, but as they get older,
Chunk.
it's less and less funny.
A lot of times when little kids do things, it's funny that as adults we would find repulsive. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So
It's just
here's a statement that I think I've started to realize over the last maybe 5-10 years. Sometimes there's folks that like to let people know how smart they are. But I think that truly the wisest and smartest people are the people who acknowledge and realize and admit that they at least know what they don't know.
Mhm.
Do you understand what I'm saying there?
mm-hmm.
You can't know everything, right? But if
Yeah.
you can go through life with a sense of, I can learn something from this person, I can learn something from this activity that's happening in life, even if it's something that you've done before. If you can always embrace life, realizing I can take something from this, I can be a continual learner, I can seek out what's going to happen to your mindset. If you come to church on Sunday morning and you say, I've been a Christian my whole life, I've heard this preached before. What's that do?
You're never going to learn anything else.
No. But if you come in and you say, I'm a sinner saved by grace and I can always be made better, are any of us a perfect representative example of Christ?
No.
No, none of us are truly a Christian in that Christ-like image. We can all be made better. So if we attack every aspect of our life with I don't have all the answers. When I go into a lot of different conversations. I had a unique experience this week that I've never done before with groups of individuals that I don't typically associate with on a deep level. And I went into that not with the idea that I know what needs to be done here. I went in with I don't know what they're talking about, but I'm just here to make sure they talk.
For the play?
No, I'm not going to go into details. It's just I don't know, but let's let the folks who do know talk about it, and I want to grab some information from them. So if you can always keep your mind open in life and realize I can learn from this, God can speak to me, wise people can speak to me, and if you're the same person next year that you are right now, you're failing in life. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
You should always be trying to be a more perfect image of Christ. All right, Brice, who's next?
AJ.
AJ, where are you going?
I think I pick on him every time. I don't know.
Is it just a thing now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's across the table from you.
Yeah.
Which verse are you going to, AJ?
There's 3 that I want to do, but I'm not
Just
doing
pick
all
one.
3.
It's every time with him.
I know, but there's
One
good
verse.
Can I do verse 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11?
The whole chapter, please.
13.
Verse 13.
Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding.
Happy is the man that findeth wisdom, and the man that getteth understanding. Why did you pick this verse?
Because when you're not acting like an idiot, and you actually use your brain, and you try and actually seek wisdom, you get happiness from that, I guess is what that's saying. And then the man that getteth understanding.
I think that they go together.
Yeah.
So, this is a cart before the horse question for me. Do you think that it's saying that you get happy when you find wisdom?
No, you.
Or is it saying that happy people find wisdom?
Both?
You get happy when you find wisdom.
So if you're not finding wisdom, you won't be happy.
I mean, you'll be kind of miserable.
You'll be. Wisdom gives happiness. But you can be happy without wisdom. Because ignorance is bliss.
No, that's
No.
No.
that's a false statement.
No.
Ignorance is bliss until you turn 5.
Yeah.
Chunks.
I think
Yeah.
that what I'm trying to say here is that these two kind of go hand in hand. Maybe it's not one before the other, but if your mindset is one that you're a happy person, you're inherently seeking out that wisdom. This goes to Brother Tripp. People should walk in and see your disposition as a saved child of God and say, I want some of that. And not look at you and be like, oh, I don't want to talk to him. Can you understand what I'm saying? They go hand in hand. If you're seeking out wisdom and you're filled with the knowledge of God, it's going to change your disposition. Where are you going, AJ? Who's next?
I think it's just Kenny left.
Kenny and me. All right, Kenny, where are you going?
Verse 15.
Kenny goes to verse 15. There it is.
She is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire are not compared unto her.
All right, why'd you pick this one, Kenny?
It kind of stood out because it shows how much wisdom is really meaning to someone. It's comparing it to like a precious stone, saying how much it can mean to you once you get it, and once you have wisdom, nothing else is going to be desired. You'll know what to do.
It's like a priority thing, I think, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you have any shoes that you like better than other shoes?
Jordan 5.
Your Jordan 5s?
Reverse sale.
Are there any shoes you have that you would not get upset about if Curry stepped on them and got them muddy?
The shoes I run track in.
Yeah.
And if Curry had muddy feet and stepped on your Jordan 5s, would you feel a little different?
Yeah, I would.
Especially since he would probably be the type that would do it on purpose.
No, Josie does it on purpose. actually.
Josie would do it
I
on
made her
purpose.
Josie
give,
does
I
it
made
on
her give me
purpose.
$20 one time for stepping on a pair of shoes.
That's probably fair.
What a kind soul. But
But the point that I'm getting at, you value some of those objects we value more than others, right? Where do we, if those shoes were just sitting in the middle of the living room and Josie stepped on them, do you think your mom would be cool with you getting upset about it?
No, but
No.
I take care of my stuff.
You put your stuff that you value in a safe place,
Yep.
right? And that's what I'm getting at here. Where is wisdom on your priority list? Do you value it more than rubies? So what
Whoa.
they're talking,
Is that going to be on the podcast?
I'll be able to take that out.
Is what going to be on the podcast?
I don't know what you're talking about, AJ. Just ignore it.
it's all in your head.
It's on your head.
It was just a Windows notification. It's fine. Poor AJ. So-
I'd say that wisdom is probably on the higher end of the spectrum for me.
It should be valued. So rubies, it's a gem, but it also has a lot to do with money. When we look at this, do you value wisdom? Do you value some of the experiences? Do you value serving God more than you do money? Do we need money?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if all we do is pursue money and we don't pursue the things of God, what's it saying we're doing? We're
Being
misprioritizing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to. Did you pick rubies because of the ruby slippers?
No.
I guess we totally missed
I
that
did.
chance.
I'm going to be
didn't we?
completely honest. I
Oh,
did not
my
have
goodness.
Wizard of
Oh,
Oz in my mind.
I know the title of this episode.
Probably a
The
good
Wisdom
thing.
of Oz.
I don't know.
No.
No.
That's the. No.
No.
Not quite.
Does he really have wisdom?
Him?
No, Oz. Is he even
Oh,
smart?
no.
It's a pun.
Oh.
Oz was savvy.
But psh.
Yeah. It's good, Brice.
An old
We'll have
Kansas
to put a
band
soundboard
himself.
in. All right, I'm going to verse 3.
This many.
Verse 3. Wisdom is not referenced here, but it goes together. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. So mercy and truth. What does it mean to be merciful?
Not getting something that you deserve.
It's so if you are the person that is giving mercy, it's not doling out something that they deserve, right? So just because, I'll tell a little story from yesterday. I purposely told a young man to show no mercy. We set up Super Smash Bros. At the theater on the giant projector.
Was it Harrison Pope?
Yes.
It was Harrison Pope.
Dude, he got into it.
So
Harrison's great.
Harrison's pretty good at this game called Super Smash Bros. And we set the projector up so they were playing Smash Bros. On about a 25-foot screen in the theater. And I had the sound, full theater sound. It was pretty fun. The Munchkins were there, so elementary age kids playing Smash Bros. Against a kid who plays on the Smash Bros. Esports team and is apparently pretty competitive in this, right? Mm. And Harrison goes, I got to play against little kids. I said, Harrison, don't just play against little kids. Destroy the little kids. He goes, you want me to beat them bad? I said, we want to churn through them because as soon as they're done, next one comes up. Harrison, show those little kids no mercy and make a scene about doing it.
He beat
said,
the first
okay.
kid. He beat the first kid in 40 seconds.
He was laying beat downs.
The
and
kid had
talking
4
smack
lives, too.
to elementary kids. It was hilarious. He showed them absolutely no mercy. They got what was coming to him. He was good. They were not, and he let them know. He beat down Mr. Dorsey.
The assistant
The
superintendent.
assistant superintendent. Harrison laid a beat down on him. Harrison showed no mercy. I told him specifically not to. In life, though, are we supposed to be the one that shows no mercy?
No.
We should not go through life with a mentality of finish him. Give them what they got coming to them. It says, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Kenny, you got a chain on today? What do they look like? Anything important?
I have a cross.
He's a cross. Why do you wear a chain with a cross?
Let people know that I'm Christian.
He's letting people know he's a Christian.
Then, this is going to be corny, but I have a chain that my girlfriend got me, and it has like her eyes on it.
Oh, his special lady
That's so
friend.
cute, dude.
It has her eyes on it,
Yeah.
custom lasered.
Yep.
What?
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
He has that bound about his neck. Literally what it says there, right?
So she's staring at your neck.
She's with you. Lauren's watching right now. They're right there at the forefront, right? So when you touch that chain, do you think about Lauren?
I do, actually. Yeah.
That's kind of the idea, right? Write them upon the table of thine heart. It's just simply saying it's there. It's like covenant. So are we living our life with mercy and truth? Are we the type that is there for the truth, that is not as conniving, not a liar, and are you ready to give mercy? If you're living your life to give mercy, it's usually a result of that happiness and the wisdom that comes in. You don't need to be the one that in life is like, you got what's coming to you, and I had something to do with it. How you like them apples, to quote Oz yet again.
Pretty much.
Yep.
I think Abby said
If you're
that.
living a life full of wisdom, you will be a happy, merciful, truthful individual. And it'd be like Kenny's cross in Lauren's eyes. Kenny has mercy, truth, wisdom,
And
all
love.
bound about. Should we get you a couple chains that say all that?
Do you guys want
Cross,
get one of all of
Lauren's
ours.
eyes, mercy, truth, wisdom, all there about your neck. You'd look like
can.
Crosby, right?
Actually, that's not true.
All right, next
10
week.
chain.
We're up on our time. We're at 10:48. Next week, we are going to finish Proverbs chapter number 3. Anybody else have a pearl of wisdom to drop before we finish up? No? All right. Thank you, gentlemen.